information that I can switch to and let people see what I'm talking about. And but maybe sometimes it doesn't have to be so damn professional, right? It can be real.
Yeah, yeah, man. Even the Tonight Show I saw, he was doing like selfie style, self tape style.
Oh, was he? Wow.
Yeah, I was. I mean, it was. It's admirable that he's going for that. It's just, it definitely, everybody's taking a hit, and it's crazy that even at that level they got to modify to this.
Yeah, yeah, because I think everyone wants to, listen, everyone's voice now is available to the web because that's the way we're all communicating with each other. And, you know, this, it's nothing new, but I think now in numbers, it's probably surpassed what everyone, has thought that, maybe the developers of like Zoom and, GoToMeeting in those online webinar and conference technology probably never thought there would be this much. But I think the network is holding up all the different networks and servers and things like that, making it
Yeah,
happen because we haven't had any problems yet. Um,
yeah. And
well,
you're not blurry, which is good.
that's right. Well, if I'm drinking, I'll be a little bit. Just kidding, just kidding. Well, let me start this off because we're live on YouTube, and everybody, this is Leo Manzari, um, performing artist, classically trained tap dancer also, from Gregory the Hines family, right? Gregory Hines and his brother, I believe it was, right? That
Yeah,
you
great
studied under,
sign. Mhm.
and you were just with him. I think prior to the whole lockdown, you were with
Yeah.
the was it Gregory who you were with or his brother
Maurice Hines, his
Maurice?
brother.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that was good that you were posting. Also, for those who don't know Leo, he's also a singer. He raps. He produces his own videos and works collaboratively with other people. And he has a band. These guys are awesome. These guys are hot. They really, really, I mean, well produced live and also in the studio. The quality of the music you guys that you do, the topics that you write about, they're deep, they're current, they're relevant, and they're going to always stay relevant. I believe. And but the good thing is, you're not just standing there. You're moving, besides grooving, but you're also tap dancing as a part of the ensemble. I think it's it's
Yeah.
it's really really awesome.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. And listen, we've known each other now about a little over a year
Yeah.
now, and
Mhm.
the podcast that I just did was with Angelo Soriano from
Oh,
Lucky and the
word.
Lady. So that's how we met. We met through his event that we did at in on the west side of New York City a year
Yeah.
ago, and so I was just talking with him earlier like about an hour ago, and he's doing well. Him and his wife, they're doing well. He's keeping
Yeah.
busy, and so what you been up to? How you been? Everything good?
Man, I'm good. It's interesting because everything, on the outside world has come to a halt. But,
Yeah.
I feel like just because I have, a source of creative expression, I've been trying to just continue being progressive on my own. Obviously, plans have gotten significantly modified. I teach a lot, and all of my students are now facing something that they never thought that they would be facing.
Yeah.
I was gearing up to release my record, which was right on the horizon. And then once this all came to be, we were now re-strategizing that release to make
Hmm.
sure that it connects with people on the deepest level.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just watching the news, man, there's a lot of people going through a lot of horrible things right now.
Yeah.
And I just can't help but think about them every single day.
Absolutely. No, I hear you. I hear you. My prayers and my condolences out to everyone who has lost somebody, and obviously those people who are sick and those people who are, in caretaking situations and our medical, not just the medical, but the police and the people in the grocery stores that are there manning the registers and stocking the shelves but also, everyone, I think globally, I haven't heard about anybody like really freaking out, and everyone seems to be like peaceful and still calm, like like a collective of all humanity, which is
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable, right? It's just unbelievable. And
Yeah.
so so let me. I don't want this to be about me. I want this to be about you. You have incredible talents, And
Thank
you've been posting videos of you playing some music online. What
you.
what share a quick song with us, something that that you have maybe put together because of this whole thing. Share that message if you can.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's interesting because I'm not a trained classical pianist. Everything that I have an understanding of doing is just my exploration, self exploration on the keys. So I've been doing that since I was, I'm 25 now, so I've been doing that since I was like 14, 15.
Right.
But I had never ever done it on stage or showcased it in a video or
Mhm.
even let people know I did it. And because we're forced in a circumstance where I don't have access to my rap studio or my full tap studio, I am literally the only thing I have access to is a little board to tap on, which I do from time to time, and then my keyboard.
Right.
And I wanted to keep momentum moving and give people melancholy music that they can listen to and feel somewhat at peace.
Yeah.
So literally I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I just took the risk. I was like, you know what, I've been doing this for a minute, let me just like post it and just hope people dig it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people know me as a tap dancer and know me as a hip hop artist, so it kind of caught them off guard. But yeah, it's been really nice to like hear people's response, positive response to just how I explore on the keys. And all of it is just, reminiscent of the times. Whenever I write something on piano or when I write something lyrically, it's not necessarily always about like a literal biography or description about what's going on, but
Yeah.
it always draws from it. So people that are experiencing the song, no matter what time period it is, they'll be able to connect with it in some way.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so appropriate now, right? More than ever. But I think with you holding back the album, I think you can still drop it, and it's like a global drop now because
Yeah.
everyone's there's so many people are just hanging at home and stuff like that. So, what's a song that you could share with us that kind of comprises everything that we're going through at the moment? Is there something that you've been working on, or something
Yeah,
prior, or
yeah.
something? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can definitely show you some stuff. I mean, there's a song that I wrote literally the other day that I'm still putting together the post production for. But I can do a little on keys if you want.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I was jokingly calling it quarantine, and so I was playing it, and I realized, wow, this actually feels like I'm in a cage. But yeah, let's
Excellent.
get this going.
Here we go. Leo Manzari. That's great. That's awesome. I tell you, if people, those of us who have seen you guys perform as a group, to hear the band play behind what you just shared with us, this is going to
Mm-hmm.
be awesome. And then of course your lyrics and your voice. I
Yeah,
can hear it
man.
all. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
Man.
Unfortunately, Zoom, the way the Kodak works is, I think if the volume gets really, really, if it gets louder in volume, it starts to compress, and so it
Uh,
only, hey, but that's all good because the thing is now people need to come out and see you once we get out of this COVID lockdown.
yeah, yeah. That's funny as shit.
It's
I'm over
all
here like this sounds fine to me. Over here, you're like,
yeah,
fuck
yeah. I think what needs to happen is a friend of mine on Long Island. He has a studio, and he runs all of his stuff through his console into his computer and back into this I guess his mastering Kodak unit, and then so he was actually able to play his I don't know, it must have been like 24, maybe 32 tracks, and it was really strong. It was, what I mean, and there was no compression, anything like that was going on. So, like I said, this gives an opportunity for people to hear this and then to see it live. And what I'm going to do is, what I'd like to do is, everyone who I'm talking to, if they're musicians and they have groups, I want them all to come back out to Viper Studios in Unit 3 and to perform, a song or two or something like that, so that we can create something for the COVID-19, this pandemic era, that maybe then if people donate money, we can offer it to, I don't know, hospitals to purchase masks or whatever it may be, medical supplies or whatever, what I mean, and that's something that I want the whole community to consider, maybe, deciding where proceeds could go to. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be a good
yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah, because I mean, if we're all coming together and we all come together for a good cause, I think it just makes it even more. It just makes it more special, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah. So how the fellas? Have you been keeping in contact with the fellas in the group, your bandmates?
Yeah, man, as much as possible. I
Yeah.
mean, the tricky thing with this virus is it's caused everybody to not only deal with what's happening with their careers and jobs, but it's affecting people personally.
Yeah.
And for me, it's affected my family personally. So on a personal account, I'm taking care of my loved ones.
Yeah.
So time is limited, but we're definitely doing our best to stay up, and we have plans in the future and everything. And yeah, man, I'm praying for everybody, man, because this shit is real.
I know, and thank you. I really appreciate taking care of your loved ones and things like that, but also keeping out to your friends, keeping in contact with your friends, because it is so important, especially at this
Yeah,
time, because everybody's affected by it, obviously, but everybody, the way they go about dealing with things like this, totally different. Everyone has their own story to tell and their own, things that they work with. So, but I think a lot of really good music and the what we do as communities, I think it's going to be really, really interesting once we get out, once we get back out. I think obviously we'll be more safe, I think, and more conscious about things, cleanliness or whatever it may be. Um, but I don't think I don't think we're not ever going to get to that point where we don't hug each other, yeah, embrace each other and stuff like that.
I
That
hope not.
that
That would
has
be
to
awesome.
come. Yeah, yeah,
For
right.
real. I hope that obviously we're being delicate to the situation and what it is now, but I hope that
Yeah,
there's a level of security that people can embrace that does not disable a comfort for embracing somebody, man. Because already, like, you can see people having meltdowns online and shit, posting certain videos of just being lonely.
I know, I know, I
It's
know.
real. Like, people are really struggling, man.
That's true. So what would you say? What encouraging remarks would you say to someone to inspire them to not, to not do this alone, but to get their voice out there to ask for help? What would you say?
Yeah, well, I would just say, first off, take this moment to do the self reflection that you always told yourself you didn't have time for. That's first and foremost. We're all talking. I know, at least I can speak for me personally, as I would always say, I'm too busy to take time for myself.
True.
And then now that the time is here for myself, I'm really I'm forced to face certain things that I may have been avoiding without even knowing it. So once you're able to do that, That's first and foremost. And then don't be afraid to reach out to friends. You know, FaceTime is a thing. Don't just text, call them. People are at home. And I think to see someone's face and to hear their vocal resonance is something that's really warming. That's what I've been doing. Been calling, and it's weird. Like, people that I know I'm close with seem so grateful for a call. And it's just because it's a reassurance that even when times get rough and the worst as they are, which is what it is now, I'm still thinking about you.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, once text messaging became a reality, I think, and when everybody had it, right, I think that did reduce the amount of actual voice time that people were having
Yeah.
with each other, and for the most part, I think it really um, derailed. I don't want to say derailed a lot, but it totally changed the culture
Mhm.
of communication, and of course TikTok, and other, like even Instagram and things like that has become that platform where talking to somebody, but then actually hearing their voice, seeing what they're posting, you're getting multiple, you're getting more depth of a post, but still, it's not like this. It's not like you actually picked up a phone or called somebody and actually have a conversation
Yeah, yeah,
without images or unless you're FaceTiming and stuff like that. But
yeah.
it
Well,
is important. Yeah.
yeah. Another thing that I would add, and I love that I'm saying it. There's this trend going on Instagram and TikTok that it's like, get ready to go to the living room, and there are these like beautiful women and great men that are like just dressing up fully, like full dress, full makeup, full whatever,
Full
full
garb.
hair,
Yeah. Yeah.
just to go to the living room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, another, I would condone, do whatever makes you feel good, because that stuff is important.
Yeah. That's true.
Um,
Yeah.
I love seeing it. I think it's such a good way of like self-soothing.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because I mean, what would you do? You would actually dress up to go someplace. You would dress up to go to work, or you go to a concert, or do something like go to dinner, and now you're
Yeah,
stuck at your house.
yeah,
so,
exactly.
so maybe if you use it as, hey, when I leave my bedroom, that's me leaving my apartment, and then when I go into the living room, I'm actually back at work. And so it is
Yep.
healthy. It is a healthy. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it because when you think you've seen enough going on, the different trends and stuff like that, you really don't because if however many billions of people or however many billions of cell phones that are out there, that's how many different stories that
Yeah.
are in trends and stuff like that could possibly happen. So, but that's really good. That's really so. What do you besides writing music and stuff like that? What are you doing to keep busy?
Honestly, man, you know, like I said, family's a real thing. So I'm taking care of my family.
Yeah,
Making calls. Just producing a lot, writing a lot, planning the strategy for the record. I'm very excited for this record, and the record is
mm,
very, very much relevant to now, in the sense that I wrote it from a space of loneliness and isolation.
hmm,
Um, so a lot of the songs are derivative from that emotional pull,
yeah,
even though the circumstance was different. But I think that the record is so relevant and
yeah,
can connect with people on that level. Even though I started writing it
mhm,
like over a year ago.
yeah.
Um,
Give us a few ideas. Like pick a song that you really that I mean, I'm sure all those songs touch something with you in your heart, in your mind. Give us maybe a few lyrics of something that when you were in that space that maybe people can relate to now at this
yeah,
time.
absolutely. Well, there's a song called "No One Deserves to Be Alone," and
Awesome.
I think being alone and experiencing loneliness are two completely different things.
Right.
And I do think that spending time alone is incredibly healthy because, like I said, it gives you time to reflect. It gives you time to, sort through whatever you hadn't been able to sort through when you're out in public all the time. But at the end of the day, no one deserves to be alone. No one should be forced to be isolated.
Right.
And I feel like that's how a lot of us feel right now. Um, and that song, I'm just so excited for people to hear that song because it's just like,
Hmm.
it's incredibly relevant to what I think everybody's experiencing right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like you said, you were in that space when the world was not like this, and now
Yeah.
how apropos it is. We're all there in some ways. Even if you're with loved ones, but you're still in this isolated kind of chamber. I mean, where you feel you feel in a sense you're by yourself because your normal routine is totally gone or stopped,
Yeah.
and everyone's readjusting. But yet, when you wrote that, how so many people will be able to relate to it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That the timing and just so. But I'm glad you're not there. But I'm glad you are able to share that right now with this new album release coming up soon. When do you think you're going to be able to release that? To
Man,
or
I
when do
wish
you
I could
want to?
tell you. Trust me, I
Yeah,
wish I had an answer that I was just like, there you go.
yeah, yeah,
Don't fucking know. But my main thing of waiting is obviously I can just put it on Spotify and be like, here it is.
yeah.
But I want to maximize the impact and accessibility that it has for people. That's very important to me because I've dropped multiple projects in the past, some of which have, gotten okay numbers, some of which have gotten more numbers than the previous. But this one I just feel it's so accessible to a larger demographic of people that I really want to make sure that the drop is supported by a platform that can really spread the record as many places as should appropriate
As you
as
can.
it should appropriately go. That's what
Right.
I'm really focused on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully in the near future, definitely 2020.
Okay. Okay.
But, we'll see.
Yeah. Have you guys now? You and the bandmates, have you guys thought about maybe doing like a Zoom meeting where you can all collaborate together on a piece, something like that?
Uh, we've talked a little bit about it, but honestly, not so much. So the record that I'm actually set to produce, I didn't produce with the band context. I produced it with people from the band,
Okay.
but it's not the band sound. Like I have a record out right now called Clockwork,
Right.
which is produced in the context of that band. This record involved a lot of the same people, but it's not that same sound.
Right.
So if we were to do that, it would be more of like a jam context as opposed to showcasing one of the songs on the record, which we're definitely open for. But we're all in different cities, like, and we're just got to figure out the logistics of that for sure.
To make that
But
happen. Yeah.
yeah, but everybody's making moves and cooking, and we're all staying united and supporting each other. So I'm sure there'll be something in the near future.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good to hear. Yeah, because I mean, but it's also good for for you and also the fellows in the group, to continue playing music, right? Keep writing, and also stretch that frame um that those areas where you can um go into like I said, go into a different area or try something new that
Mm.
wasn't like, let's say, from the Clockwork, from that orchestration in a sense, you know what I mean, and develop something not necessarily solo, but take something, let's say, if it was solo, but then bring it back all together, and see
Yeah,
and
yeah,
as a collaborative, but a collaborative solo kind of projects, something like that.
yeah.
I don't know. It may, is that more progressive, like a
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely. I think the key to any successful team is not making the one product, right? It's
Yeah,
the ability to make multiple products, but it has the same essence because it's the same people involved.
yeah, yeah,
So people that are part of my band, are also doing their own things that I'm also a part of. So it's kind of like I call it the prong effect, right?
yeah.
The best way to get the best charge is not just through one electric rod, right?
Mhm.
It's through three. So
Yeah.
if you're able to get the biggest charge by doing multiple different things with the same people, then that's how you can get the most impact.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's good. Well, I was going to say also, what's going on now? If what you guys are doing, what you're posting, obviously it's like a documentary also, what with
Mm.
everyone's life. So definitely, as you're going about posting, maybe think in that kind of construct where can I take like if I do this on a daily basis, can I make this into a story, right? As
Yeah,
opposed
yeah,
to
yeah,
just random clips and things like that, just to show the
yeah,
progression. Like, hey, this is where we were, and then this happened, and then this is what we did,
yeah, yeah.
and now look at who we now look at what we are, and looking back, because again, this is hopefully this will be a small time window or window
Mm.
of time where this is happening, where when we do get back to the normal, we can look back at this, reflect, and then again come out with another story about
Yeah,
again how we all survived, how we all moved through
yeah,
this. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
good stuff,
And
good stuff. Yeah,
yeah, I think artists are so naturally creating, like putting together that connective tissue. Like I never have isolated experience. I truly feel that one experience leads to the next, that leads to the next, that leads to the next.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like a lot of us are writing our own narratives without actually even knowing it.
Right, right. But I'm thinking now, now being conscious, and whoever watches this, if they're now that they're conscious of that, then they can really plan this and be more strategic with it as opposed to. But maybe sometimes it's good not to, like you're saying, if you're in that creative space all the time, you're good to go. It's again, one day is another, and it gets stitched together as that one continuous story or
Yeah,
storyline.
absolutely.
That's good. So
Yeah.
how you feeling? Are you feeling good? No problems. Keeping up your
Um,
push-ups.
yeah. I've actually been doing like a lot of, well, tap dance I feel is its own fitness in itself.
Yeah.
But because I can't make a lot of noise all the time, I've actually just been taking care of like my core, my back,
Yeah.
my arms and everything, which feels great.
Okay.
And I'm good. Like I haven't been exhibiting any, symptoms, which I was nervous about because
Yeah.
we're in New York.
Yeah.
And I actually had to leave New York to take care of somebody. So I'm not in New York now, but I'm fine. Like, and the people around me feel fine.
Okay.
Like I said, man, I'm really just thinking about everybody else because this
Yeah.
shit is no joke.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Listen, talking about someone else, one of your posts, you showed a painting behind you. I think it was. You said your aunt. She's a painter also, right? That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
she's really dope.
That's great.
Yeah, she's actually an incredibly inspiring woman and artist. Her name's Leanne Hayden.
Okay.
And she's, in her late 70s. She's suffers from MS. And her, obviously her body is slowly breaking down. And even though like this blue piece behind me, she made this for me when I went to college.
Wow. That's beautiful.
And even with her, her disease and her condition, even if it takes 9 hours to create, 3 bold lines, she's going to do it.
Yeah, yeah. That's love to her. And that's also inspiring for people. I mean, if someone has to deal with that on a daily basis, and we have to deal with this on a temporary basis,
Yeah.
that's inspiring to say, listen, we can all get through this time together, but then we also have to help other people, of our loved ones and our friends, through this time also and after this time. And I'm glad you're doing that. I'm glad you guys are very close. And that's beautiful work. Did she do both of those paintings back there?
Yeah, I can give you a closer look. She did this one right here. Because I love blue. I said that earlier. So she painted this for me when I was in college.
Yeah.
And then she did this one, which is her interpretation of something. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what it is. And then she also did this one.
Oh wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful work. So she does really nice life drawings. I think that's there, right?
Yeah.
The black and white, and then very creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's really dope. And like, I mean, she has an Instagram. I think it's Leanne Hayden 1.
Okay.
LeeAnHayden 1.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, she's actively selling paintings and everything. I'm trying to help her get a jump start, because it's hard when, you're not able to like physically deliver your work.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out ways that she can distribute her work because she deserves it, man. She's super great.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's all. This is what we've been trying to do with the Islip Arts Council on Long Island, is to do the same thing, work with artists who are like 60, 70, 80, and also 90 years old. They're not a part of this digital marketing world, with social media and things like that. And so one of our campaigns is to educate them on it's not on what they do well, which is, painting and doing that, but it's getting their work, getting their name out there about their work and what they're doing, because they're so creative, but yet there's like millions of artists who just don't know how to do this. So it kind of cripples them from getting their word out there, getting their voice and their paintings out there. So that's just a part of our mission. So whatever I can do to help you and tell you what we've been doing to educate you, so that you can then talk to your aunt and educate her, but then obviously work together with her. I'm there for you. I'm there for you.
Word, yeah, I'm definitely gonna reach out and ask you some things because she deserves it. I remember I actually posted on the first time I like posted a photo of hers to Instagram. She was so excited. I was like,
Yeah,
yo, it's just a post. But to her, it was just like the world can see like what I worked so hard on. And I was
yeah,
like, wow.
yeah. I mean, it's like it's a door, not just a local door. It's a door to everybody around the
Yeah,
world who has access to to this. And of course those hashtags help, and other ways to get the search engines to when someone does a search to get that out there. But still, I know it's still a labor of love. You got to do it, that way. But once you get that momentum happening and the process, I think it's much more the outline and the process. Then artists of all ages can get their work out there. Because you're doing it yourself as a performing artist, um,
yeah,
but also but maybe even tying her work into what you're doing as visuals or whatever it may be, or even on album covers and things, or not album. Well, I guess you could still call them album covers, right? Um,
hmm
that then it's sort of like a co-branding or a collaborate, like that type of a relationship, or
right.
celebrating your family's wealth in that sense,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's true.
because that's history. That's history. And the horrible thing is, if paintings can get, unfortunately, if there's like a fire or something like that, they'll be lost. But if it's digitized and it high res and stuff like that, through the magic of whatever, through printers and things like that, these things can be quickly reproduced. And of course, it's not
Yeah.
going to be the original, but at least these things can be recovered to a certain degree.
I've always
So,
been curious how, like, before digital technology existed to make sure that your name was solidified in history, I've always wondered how artists dealt with the anxiety of being forgotten.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Because that's something that I know I deal with when I'm working on a Logic file and I really making an instrumental or a song that I love, and I get paranoid that the hard drive's gonna crash. And I'm just like,
oh
how would it have been in a time where it was guaranteed that there was going to be no documentation of this?
yeah.
Like, how did they deal with that? And I just have mad respect because that's not an easy thing.
No, not at all, not at all. I mean, look at, if you have you ever been to like Italy, to the 16th Chapel, and
Exactly. Yeah.
it's unbelievable, just the amount of artwork that the paint, what I mean, and it's still being preserved. It's not just there, but in that style, right? I guess they use like egg whites in the paint and stuff like that to preserve it. But I wonder if they had those thoughts also way back then, because they were,
Oh, I'm sure they did.
or maybe they didn't have to worry about it. Hey, it was commissioned. I made X amount of dollars on it, and what I
Yeah.
did make sustained me, you know, for a long time, kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
that's true. That's true.
But
That's good.
yeah, but listen, history is history, and we have to capture it, especially digitize it as best we can. But obviously, to own something, uh, own some artwork that I think that makes it even more special. And maybe the music community, if they, let's say, they went ahead to celebrate other people's works and had it on their albums or on their music covers on Spotify, et cetera, um, maybe we could create our own kind of digital museums that can never, it can never disappear, because it's shared globally, and it's sort of like, okay, so I lost my hard drive, but yet it's still stored someplace else, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but listen, that's good. I'm glad you're able to hop on the quick pod that I'm calling them.
Yeah, man. Me
you
too.
know.
Me too. I'm sorry that the piano was distorted, man.
Uh,
I wish you could have heard, but
well, I tell you what, if you want to play another, just another song, maybe something quick to
yeah, yeah,
but I would say, if you can maybe lower just the volume a hair, and we'll
yeah.
see if that controls the computer's.
How's that sound?
Maybe a little bit less, just a hair less. Okay, sounds good so far.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna play that same joint because you didn't hear it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. We're here for you.
My man.
Yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet. I'm telling you, we all got to get together again to have a like again a concert where we're celebrating everyone coming back together. You know, that'll be awesome. Um, how can people get a hold of you online?
Yeah, Instagram is really the main thing. It's just at LeoManzari, Leo Manzari. And main thing is like, if I were to just request what people look for, is I like to create experiences and just create content. And I don't like to be labeled as whether it's a tap dancer or a musician or an actor or whatever it is. I just like to create works. And if you're down to experience, if you're down to experience my works, to find some, clarity within yourself, that's what I'm here for. So check me out.
Excellent, excellent. Well, listen, you are a um, a legend in your own right, my good man. You are. I'm telling you, you're a superstar. You have so much talent. You really do, and you also spend a lot of time around talented, creative people. And I'm happy to hear that your aunt, is has shares that talent stream with you guys, with you, and you keep inspiring because when I met you a little over a year ago, and then us coming together in the studio and then now getting reconnecting, it seems like it was just like a week ago when you guys were
Yeah.
there, and so keep touching people out there with your music, and I know you're doing, I mean, you have, because I've been watching you since we met, your progression, and I know it's hard at times, but you just have to persevere and follow your dreams. And I think
Mm.
this time is the perfect time for people to like reflect on their lives and again follow you and listen to some of the music that you have out there on Spotify. You have music on Spotify, right? And on
Yeah,
SoundCloud.
all the streaming platforms. And if you don't have Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
Excellent. Okay, sounds. And they just have to look up Leo Manzari for that.
Yep.
Excellent.
Mhm.
All right. All right. Cool. Well, listen. I hope to see you like maybe in like 2 weeks, just to see how you're doing. We'll catch up if that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I'm down. Thanks again for the talk, man. I really
Anytime.
love it.
Yeah. Well, look, it's good to reconnect with you and to see that you're doing well, and you know, we'll get through this together. We will.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
All right, Leo. Good to see you, brother. You
You too.
have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Excellent. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Okay, buddy.
Peace, man.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, bud. You got it. Bye. Excellent. So that is my good friend, uh, Leo Manzari. He is a very, like I said, a very talented individual who is just a joy to work with. And if you get to see him um, once we get out of this COVID-19 situation, definitely go see. I mean, I think a lot of people who are cooped up in their homes will, as they take advantage of things that are online, I think when you see him performing someplace, it's not just in the New York tri-state area. He travels. You definitely want to check him out because, like I said, it's not just singing. It's not just moving and grooving. He is a professional tap dancer, and if you enjoyed Maurice and Gregory Hines, even like seeing those brothers dancing because they are brothers dancing on television, you can see the influence that they had on Leo, and I know you're going to enjoy the work that they do. And when he performs, he's in full sweat. He usually has about 2 or 3 towels. That's how much he. It's like a full body workout that he does. So I'm hoping that we all can get back to a normal norm again because people like Leo, who again are doing full body kind of workouts, they need to maintain their physique so that they don't injure themselves, and that they so that they can transition from this type of a temporary lifestyle of quarantine to full out performance, that they can segue smoothly so that there's no injury. So, anyways, thanks for joining me again for this quick pod. This is Chuck from Viper Studios and Unit 3 Live. We have more incredible artists that we're going to be interviewing, and I think with every podcast or quick pod that we do, you're going to enjoy. You're going to see how dynamic my network of friends and friends and they're my extended family, how close we are, and what kind of work that we did in the past and what we're looking to do moving forward. So with that, be well, stay well, be safe. Get out there if you can and get some fresh air in your lungs, but obviously wear protection and get the food you need and share, learn, and give and support when and where you can. Again, Chuck Moses of Viper Studios and Unit 3 Live. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks again for joining me for this quick pod.